Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan, Mark Pagan Jr. How you guys doing tonight? Let me slow down. I'm moving too fast. Consciously, I'm just moving too fast. All right. I want to talk about a question that was posed to me. What do I believe this place is? This place meaning this planet, this state, this country, this continent. Well, in its totality, I have a theory on what the Earth is. I believe this entire planet is an incubator. What an incubator is, it sustains life, right? It sustains life. Life comes through, when you put a baby in an incubator, basically, right? And it sustains their life. Well, I believe that this earth is an incubator for souls. And we're, the vessels, the babies. Because, I come up with this theory because how do you figure other species from other places, other beings? How do you think they come together and share knowledge or share any type of teachings? Or, they have to get together somewhere. And if I can't go to your planet and you can't go to my planet, then we need a meeting ground. There's no better meeting ground than Earth. It is basically the proper temperature to house, pretty much everything we need. And that, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. It's like angelic aliens. You know what I mean? So basically, beings from all over the galaxy or all over the whatever could come here, or, some people look at it like the Avatar theory. I mean, you could think of it like that, James Cameron or whatever. But basically, the, otherworldly beings are somewhere else. And their souls are being projected and they're intermingling through us. That's why a lot of us are so fucking different. That's why a lot of us are so quirky and a lot of us so serious. You got all these different personalities and all these different, characteristics. That's because all of you are different from different places. I mean, some of us are, fully mixed up now, fully amalgamated. So it's like, it's getting to the point where, shit, once you transcend to the next level of life, you may be able to go to other planets and, go see other galaxies and places like this. Because in your original form, you might not have been able to do these things. You might not have been able to go to Jupiter or go see Saturn or Pluto because the atmosphere wasn't conducive to your body. Even here, right now, like the alien stuff, right? Why do you think aliens got to sneak around? Because they can't survive here. So they sneak around. I mean, they can survive, but it takes a certain atmosphere, things of this nature, right? So what they do is they inhabit the body. When they inhabit the body, now you have a new being. You have, an extraterrestrial, a humanoid extraterrestrial thing going on, right? And that's basically the incubator theory. And people that believe this, some people who believe this on a higher grand scheme of things, they actually everybody heard of stem cells and things of this nature. These things, people do this stem cell research and stuff. They steal some stem cells all the time from people. They steal sperm, they steal stem cells. Shit, they steal babies. You know what I mean? They do this type of thing. I mean, if it's good enough for the heavens, why isn't it good enough for the government, right? There you go. That's just my theory. I'm not saying that it's true. It's a hypothesis. It is what it is. But I believe that, this place is an incubator. Because you got to think about it. Even I was talking about mushrooms earlier. And when you look at mushrooms and fungi, right? That's what it was, fungi. When a certain fungi get on bugs and on certain plant life, bugs and things like that, the fungi will actually take over the bugs or the plant's life. Like it'll actually start to morph. You'll see like a piece of the fungi, because mushrooms is fungi. You'll see a piece of the fungi sticking up out of the animal or the plant or whatever that is inhabiting. And it's because that animal or that plant fed on that fungi. So now the fungi gets to inhabit the body. That's basically what the soul is doing. The soul is inhabiting our body. You're inhabited. That's that's a cool way of putting it, because it's like the same thing happened to us. Like when you take different mushrooms and things of that nature, right? It's like, how I said that fungi inhabits these ants and these different bugs, even beetles, all types of shit, slugs, that will inhabit their body. And what they'll do is they'll just, experience life through that creature. They'll just start doing things or acting erratically or just doing the same old, but it's basically not doing it on its own accord. It's doing it because the mushroom or the fungi is telling it to do it. After a while, of course, the bug or the plant or whatever, that's inhabited with the fungi or mushroom, it can't survive. So what it'll do, it'll die. It'll decease. Yeah. That's why this body dies, because it's inhabited. This is not your pure form. That's another theory I just came up with, a hypothesis. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm not. But this is not your pure form. This is just a stage of life. You have to make it past this stage of life, though. And if this is an incubator, right, you got to think about this. You have to be taken out of this incubator. So if you're here doing ill will, if you're here hurting yourself or hurting other people, you may be one of the ones that get chosen to stay in this motherfucker because you ain't matured enough to be taken out of the incubator. Okay? That's what it's all about. Reaching a level of spiritual maturity, mental maturity, because it goes hand in hand. So you can be taken out of the incubator into your true form or who you're really supposed to be. Because right now you're just inhabited. Whether you get high or not, you're still inhabited. You're inhabited with a soul, a spirit, whatever you want to call it, from somewhere else. It's not from here. This body, though, this vessel is from here. So we are connected to Mother Earth. That's why they call it Mother Earth. Mother Earth, womb, the womb. Your mother keep you in her womb for 9 months. What is that synonymous of? Normally people pass away around, 90? My grandmother, God rest her soul, passed away. Her funeral was in the morning, actually. I want to take a moment of silence for her. But yeah, man, it's all synonymous. This is a womb. But you have to be worthy of being taken out of this incubator. You can't just commit suicide and think you're going to get there. You can't just decide, oh, I know all this information. I know this, it's just an incubator and I'm just waiting to go so I can do whatever I want here. This life don't really matter. It does matter. It matters a lot. It's the determination whether you're going to get to transcend to the next level of life or whether you got to repeat this level of life. And a lot of people don't understand that. Now, I want to get back to the mushroom thing because that's an interesting topic because we're inhabited and the mushroom or fungi inhabits other creatures. Now, when we take mushrooms or psilocybin, whatever you want to call it, whatever type of mushrooms you're taking, you got to understand that you're digesting a living being. That is a creature. Everything here has a life force in it. So when you take mushrooms or anything like this, you have to, first of all, respect what you're digesting. Okay, because you're not eating it. You may put it in your mouth, you may consume it, but it may very well eat your ass. Because what you're doing is, just like the beetle or the ant or any other creature who comes in encounter with fungi or mushrooms, when you digest it, put it in your body, it is now inhabiting you. That's why people act weird when that's why you see weird stuff, because the mushrooms is inhabiting you. And actually, it's a benefit to the mushrooms and yourself. Because a lot of us lose our connection to the earth. So with these mushrooms and things like this, it reroutes your connection to the earth. Now, these mushrooms have personalities and everything that they're attached to, depending on where it's grown at, depending on what type of mushrooms, depending on the season. These mushrooms has personalities. They have energies. They have characteristics. So when you take certain ones, you might experience certain things. Like some people say they had a bad trip. And what I believe is there is no bad trips. You just didn't know what you were dealing with when you took a mushroom, because all mushrooms aren't the same. All trips aren't the same. That's a fun fact. It's kind of good when they break it down and you get to really know exactly. Watch a documentary on fucking Netflix or anything. They'll tell you all about it. The mushroom thing is real, and when you eat them, you are eating a living being that will inhabit your body until it passes through your system. Now, if you eat enough of it, you might sprout a mushroom on the top of your fucking head. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because that's what having the answers. I don't know how that happens, but it's a deep thing. You know what I mean? And when you eat them, no bullshit. It's like the mushroom is living through you for that moment. You may be feeling euphoric and good and things like that, or whatever you're feeling at the time. You're feeling that because this is what the mushroom is experiencing through you. See, a lot of people take trips and they believe that they're discovering things about their self. No, you're discovering things about nature. You're discovering things that mushroom is discovering about you because it is syncing with you. The mushroom is syncing with you. That's when you start to realize certain things and shit start to add up to you. Like you'll take a mushroom and you'll have epiphany about yourself that people been telling you all your life, right? You'll have that moment. You be like, yo, people been telling me this all my life, but I just realized it. Or you might not even realize people been telling you, but you realize it yourself. Then you tell somebody, they be like, man, people been telling you that shit all your life. The mushroom made you realize. The mushroom told you, and you can't refute it because the information came from within inside. So that's your trip. That's your trip in a nutshell. The mushroom taught you about you from the inside because the mushroom you digested had to know you. The mushroom had to learn you. So that's why, it runs its diagnostics. And you got to understand, just like the soul that you possess, just like us being here, the mushroom doesn't judge you when it's in your body. The mushroom doesn't judge you at all. It's just there. It's analyzing you. It's observing you. It's teaching you about you. And so is the soul. The soul, the spirit, the mind, that connection, it teaches you about you. It teaches other people about them. Okay? As above, so below. So yeah, we connected to something that's off this world, that's extraterrestrial, that's alien. Yes, angelic aliens, if you will. Right? But we're also connected to this earth because this earth is what birthed us. This is our birthplace. Even though our soul is technically connected somewhere else. We're connected, we're tied to both places. And that right there is astonishing to me, first of all. And second of all, when you transcend from this level of life, when you make it to the next level of life, right? What will you be? That's the most astonishing thing to me. It's like, that thought blows my fucking mind. What will you be after that? It's like, what am I now compared to what I'll be then? And how do I become that? This process that's going on right now, whether we like it or not. Right? What do we have to become or learn or accumulate or accomplish to transcend to the next level of life? And what do we become? Man, I just, I don't know. I surprise myself at times, to be honest with you, with the, things that I think about and the things that, just weigh heavy on my heart, my mind, and things like that. That's why sometimes, I just go off on my little tangents. But it's all synonymous, and it always come full circle. You know what I mean? Because it has no choice. This information can't be refuted. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is probably documented somewhere, but they won't tell you. I've been told on several occasions that my book, Nature Features, has a lot of the things that's written in the, in places, is, information that's places, worded differently, of course. But, I never studied this information anywhere else. I never been in any college or anything to, acquire, this information. I'm winging it. I'm a fucking Renaissance man, entrepreneur type, free-spirited dude. So, what the fuck do I know? Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But that's just my theory, my hypothesis, in a nutshell. Before I wrap my night up and everything. Yeah. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for, checking me out and hearing what I got to say. If you want to support me in any way and what I'm trying to do, because I am, putting books out there for free. I'm putting some of my books, for charity, putting some in free library boxes around Philadelphia. I got to actually get the app so I could figure out where more locations is at so I could, personally put my books in the free library books, free library boxes around the city. Just so, people could expand their mind, get a hold of that. And also, you can listen to any of my music, whether you like it or not. I got all of it's great to me because I'm having fun. Half the time I'm on the fucking shrooms or I'm doing something just enjoyable. You know what I mean? I might hear something. I might just turn on a beat and just record some shit and say, fuck it. I did it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Sometimes I make a masterpiece. Sometimes I make a goofy joint. Sometimes I make whatever I'm in the mood to do. That's what you should do too. You should do whatever you in the mood to do. Right? And, yeah. When I said that. Oh, YouTube, I do the streaming thing. You can go in there, like, share, subscribe, and all of that. I do other things too, but I don't promote that here. Yeah, I don't promote that here. One thing I do, I be at the Lenny, for jazz nights and things like that. They always, it's always a great turnout for hip-hop nights and jazz nights over there at 1608 Ridge. Check it out. It's a phenomenal little place. Sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm moving around, but yeah, definitely. It's a great atmosphere, great vibe. It's the IPAM, 1608 Ridge, Indigenous Peoples, Artists and Markets. You can find my books there as well, okay? The books are also on Amazon, Kindle. Music is on all streaming platforms. So if you want to pick up a hard copy of the book, you can go over there to IPAM. They'll be on the shelf. Yeah. And they have events over there too, night markets, day markets. They have indigenous, classes or courses where they sit down with a projector. They had one today. It was beautiful. They taught indigenous history about Philadelphia and the Lenape people and where they're from and who came to visit them and, all types of history and all types of, knowledgeable facts about the people who once were here, who were displaced in many ways. So, yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a good night. I'm out. Peace.